Chimneys need annual maintenance for a multitude of reasons. A chimney is not a static environment. It doesn't stay the same year after year, whether you use the chimney or not. Clearly, if you use the chimney more, it will need more maintenance. If you don't use the chimney though, weather acts on it, there's wind, it gets very hot and very cold, and it can change just by standing out in the weather. But if you use your chimney, it's recommended that every year it get inspected and swept if necessary. If you use your fireplace for wood burning, I've got a gas fireplace behind me, but if you burn wood, there's creosote that can build up into the chimney system that needs to be cleaned out and swept out. That, when it builds up, if it gets too hot or catches fire, believe it or not, a chimney is not supposed to have fire in it. It's only supposed to have smoke in it. And if you have fire inside the flue system, it can expand very rapidly, and it can get out through different areas of the structure, in the attic, in the wall, and then bad things can happen. But even if you don't use it, or let's just say you have a gas fireplace, these need to be looked at every year too, because things change. Bugs get in there and build nests, or animals block the vent, or the vent can become disconnected through the heating and cooling, or somebody bumping the vent. So all chimneys, all vents need to be annually inspected and cleaned if necessary. With proper maintenance, a chimney can last indefinitely, because most chimney deterioration starts off as a very small problem, say a small crack or a small shift. And if it can be repaired, then that chimney can last a very long time. The problem we run into mostly is people don't think about their chimney. They don't look at it. No, it's up high, and people can't just look at it like you could, say, your front steps or your back patio. And then by the time a chimney professional gets out there to look at it, it's had many years of damage, and what could have been caught as a very small problem becomes a big problem, and it has to be repaired. So the best cure for chimney problems is to have it looked at every year and keep any maintenance items small as possible. The number one best preventative measure to protect your chimney is a full-size chimney cap that goes completely over the chimney, and the cap is larger than the chimney. That type of protection will keep the majority of the water off the chimney. It keeps wind-driven rain out of the flues, and it also protects the crown, which is the very top of the chimney, from deterioration. The next best preventative measure is waterproofing the structure. Just think of the chimney as a big sponge in many cases, and the waterproofing, water repellent, can keep the water from penetrating into those cracks and then freezing and expanding and cracking. Another preventative measure is what's called repointing or tuck pointing a chimney, which is when small cracks develop in the mortar, or the mortar starts to fail, then the mortar gets put back into the chimney. Lastly, some brick replacement. If some of the bricks start to fail, and it's not too many of the brick, some brick can be removed and replaced, so it keeps the water out of the chimney. The whole game in chimney maintenance on the exterior is to keep water out of the chimney. On the interior, we're trying to keep creosote out of the chimney.